Lockett is inside of his 100th goal, and your commentators are Bernie Quinlan and yours truly. We begin with highlights of the first quarter.
Jarman does the ruck work, but Vidovic gets it out easily to Bowie. Morris taken too high. Advantage played now, over the back of hand. Devonport at the back, it's a poor kick, goes straight up in the air, no advantage to St Kilda. A left-hand bounce, however, and it's bounced through for a goal.
A tap out by Big Vidovic, taken by Gowers around the corner, and Jarman in everything early in this match. 20 minutes into the quarter, 30 metres out, kicks, and kicks truly.
Hayden Kennedy elects to throw the ball up. They'll see a lot of those today. St Kilda doing well from every ruck contest. Bowie takes it away, gives it to Morris. Morris drives it long. Devonport could hold it, but Lockett's come out a long way from goal. Does well getting a handball to kick it. Kickett lines up the goals from 45 metres. The Saints crowd like it. A goal.
Dunstall at one end, Tony Lockett the other. Grant over the top, gets a punch away. Palmed on by Dermot Brereton to Morrissey. Goal to Hawthorn.
As expected, a pretty tight opening term. A good fight back from the Hawks, who trail by 3 points. We rejoin play with 22.5 minutes of play remaining in the second quarter. Hawthorn have added a point.
Of course, in a situation like that, players not to know that there's a lack of pressure there, and Morrissey just going for, well, maybe he thought he was being closely attended.
Yes, well, that was Hawthorn's first minor for the day. They're 3-1. Off the ground went Grant, round the corner to Harvey. Bowie once again, he's had plenty of possessions, but that was well tackled behind play by Jarman. Through comes Bowie again, starting something for St Kilda. Where's the runners? Harvey finds low, he's turning around, Lockett with plenty of space. Straight up the middle of the ground, he leads. Where's the big fella? There he is, out in front. What a terrific pass, and a great mark. Dwyer says, kick the ball long, Tony, I've got some space. And he doesn't let him down with a magnificent one-arm grab.
That is a great mark, Jared, wasn't it?
Like Rodney Marsh, he threw the left-hand mid out and it stuck.
I thought maybe he could have even shepherded that one through, allowing Tony Lockett to get his 99th, but I suppose in a situation like that, you're not too sure of where you are in relation to the goal face. That was a terrific mark. Of course, a new ball being used every quarter here at Waverley Park.
Mark Dwyer for his second goal of the afternoon comes in, no mistake. St Kilda get the first goal in the second quarter, which is a great start. The one I'm sure Ken Sheldon asked for. They lead now 4-3 to 3-1.
That was really copybook football by the Saints. Firstly, Stewie Lowe on the lead. Tony Lockett also on the lead. The two big St Kilda forwards combining there very well. Tony Lockett, a strong mark out in front of his face there. Closely attended by Chris Langford, and Mick Dwyer finishing off. Terrific mark, one-handed in the goal square. Throw up again in the centre. Vidovic and Lawrence. Lawrence doesn't look at the ball. Play on, advantage call. The free kick was to be paid against Lawrence, and Stewie Lowe takes his 5th mark, giving Chris Mew the run around. Tony Lockett in the forward pocket. Can he take this? Yes, no, play on. Nathan Burke tidies up Winmar. The clever Winmar kicks a goal for the Saints. St Kilda 2 early goals at the start of this second quarter, 5-3-33. And they lead Hawthorn 3-1-19. Two very handy goals. A great mark from Mick Dwyer for the first goal in this second quarter. And then Winmar, great game last week, probably best on the ground against the West Coast Eagles. Tony Lockett leading well, and the small players hiding up. Winmar, opportunistic goal.
Centre bounce once again. Vidovic gets his hand on it, brings the ball to Harvey. Harvey flicks it out, but Morrissey comes forward now. Deere throws that ball out to Jarman, and that's how it's being called. And Jarman gives the ball back to St Kilda's Bowie. Probably been a little bit tough. There's been a lot of those scoops paid already today. Devonport doing well, back from suspension, gets it out to Pekin. Pekin runs forward, looking for the big man in low. And Bucketslow drags down another one. Pekin runs on well. He shoots for goal from 45 metres. Lockett drops back and takes an excellent mark. And Tony points the finger and says, that's where I took it, umpire. This will be number 99.
Well, the Saints on fire, Jared. Terrific start to this second quarter. 6¼ minutes into the term, and already the Saints really starting to assert their authority. Tony Lockett lining up with what should be St Kilda's third for the term and the sixth for the match.
Well, he's been impressive to date, Lockett, without kicking a goal. He handballed one off to kick it in the first quarter, which resulted in a major. He was then involved in the first one this quarter, a long, quick kick into the ground, into the forward line, which saw Dwyer get a goal. So it's time now for the big fella to get one for himself. From 4 metres out, an absolute soda for the champion full forward. Well, the umpire moved heavily to his right, but it's a goal. St Kilda career away now. They lead 6-3. 39, the Hawthorn 3-1-19.
Yes, and that's Tony Lockett's 99th goal for the season. A terrific player. He will obviously top the century for the third time in his career. And the Saints have kicked 3 goals in the last 3 minutes. It's been all one-way traffic out of the centre square as Vidovic has battle against Lawrence. This is Peakin in front. Over the ball, taps it on to Harvey. Harvey gets a quick hand pass away to Grant. Around his body into that forward line, looking for Winmar. Oh, terrific mark, Winmar. Handball's on quickly. Devonport, 50 metres out, looking for and finding Lockett. Tony Lockett out in front. Terrific place in Kilda. And Tony Lockett has his mark. Only 30 metres out, slight angle. Coming in for goal number 100 for 1992. The big bloke. Has he been impressive today? He's marked everything, used his body well, and coming in for his third century of goals in AFL, VFL football. Tony Lockett.
The ground announcer has asked the crowd to stay back. Do you think they've got a chance, Bernie?
No hope. I think they might be out there patting him on the back if he kicks this one, Tony Lockett. 30 metres. The umpire doesn't move. It's a goal to the big St Kilda forward, 100.
And here comes St Kilda fans careering onto the ground from all parts, north, south, east and west. And they're running towards their superhero, the big fella Tony Lockett, who has played a terrific game so far this afternoon and has finally reached that ton. Bernie, you've done it yourself. What would he be feeling?
Yes, well, he'd be feeling pretty elated, I think, at the moment. Of course, he's done it on a couple of occasions before, so it's nothing new to Tony Lockett, but he's been a fantastic full forward for the Saints.
Good effort by Tony Lockett, who kicked 100 goals for the third time in his career. St Kilda led at half-time by 10 points, and we pick up play at the opening bounce of the third quarter.
Well, it's the start of a vital second half here. Both teams may really look to this half to say their season went up or down, depending on the result here. Platten off the ground. McCrabb comes through, as does Morrissey. Round the corner went Vidovic, who was excellent in the first quarter. So was this bloke, Dwyer. Gives it to the young champion in Harvey, and he rolls one through for another goal to St Kilda. Robert Harvey gets the early goal on the board for St Kilda, and Hawthorn now trail by 16 points.
Well, that took 25 seconds in the second half to register that goal to the Saints. Robert Harvey, the young champion St Kilda on-ball player. Good work from Vidovic in the centre also. He's been very aggressive at those centre bounces up against Steve Lawrence. Vidovic again up against Lawrence. Gets a left hand tap down to Bowie. Back to Vidovic on the left boot. McCrabb gets the punch away. Lawrence, a hand pass to nowhere. And a free kick being awarded to the Saints, to Bowie. Not too happy the Hawks about that one, but Bowie still inside the centre square, going direct, looking for Tony Lockett or Stuart Lowe. It doesn't matter. I think the nudge out being awarded against Lowe. A free kick being taken there for the Hawks by Austin McCrabb.
Bowie and Jarman running stride for stride. Both have had 20-plus possessions in the first half, but played wide of each other earlier in the game as Deere takes a mark for Hawthorn. Allen moves the ball forward for Hawthorn into a flock of seagulls. McAdam couldn't take the mark. A pack of players jump on the ball in very heavy conditions, as you can see.
Anderson on for the Hawks too, Jared. He sat on the bench right throughout that first half. And they do need to lift the Hawks around the on-ball players, and Anderson can do just that.
Yes, obviously brought on to give the Hawks a little bit more run. Off the ground went Allen. Almost hit Dennis Rich on the boot. Could have been his first kick in football, but Morrissey with it now onto the left foot. A new football goes long to the square. A poor kick once again ignored Dunstall, and Frawley sees the ball over the boundary line. And I can't believe, Bernie, the amount of times that Dunstall has been ignored.
Yes, well, surprisingly, he hasn't kicked a goal again today, Jason Dunstall. He's had a poor return the last couple of weeks. Only one goal last week against North Melbourne. Brereton trying to get it off the ground. Morrissey eventually getting the left boot to it, and through for a behind to the Hawks. Good start by St Kilda. They lead 10-4-64 to the Hawks 7-7-49. St Kilda skipper Danny Frawley to bring it back into play. Opting for the zone defence, the Hawks, as Frawley kicks in, going directly down the middle of the ground. Travels 60 metres. Vidovic in front takes a very strong mark. No competition there from Steve Lawrence, and a good kick also from Vidovic, finding Sean Ralph Smith. Away he goes. Gets around Platten. Very low pass. Very effective in the end. Finds Bowie. Off to Ralph Smith again. Left-hand hand pass. Good running football by the Saints. Daniels inside the 50 metres, but lets himself down. A pretty poor kick there, and the Hawthorn defenders happy to see that one over the boundary line for a rush behind, or is it a free kick?
I think, Bernie.
And it's free kick to be taken by Chris Mew. He relieves the pressure out to that outer side of the ground. Over the back, Pritchard can't take the mark. And Daniels will be, oh, that's a throw, surely. Yes, the umpire picked that one up, no doubt. An obvious scoop there by Jason Daniels.
Yes, Pritchard brings the ball back forward for Hawthorn. McDonald at the front takes the fly, couldn't bring it to the ground. Anderson gets his first possession for the afternoon. Lawrence can't control the ball. He struggled in the heavy conditions today, Lawrence. Vidovic having the better of the ruck duels. Winmar, who's also been quiet, gets a kick early and finds Stuart Lowe, who's playing in front.
7 marks to big Stewie Lowe. He's averaging 10 marks a match, so well on target to take 10 again today.
Chips the kick to Pekin, who ran with the flight of the ball, creating some space. And he'll have a shot from goal on a pretty tight angle, only 30 metres out.
He's worked pretty hard also, hasn't he, Jared, today, Tim Pekin? He's been a terrific player for the Saints since transferring from Fitzroy. Been around a fair while now, Tim Pekin. Started in 1984.
He's kicked 4 goals for the season. Not prolific by any means. From 30 metres out, the umpire ran a long way to his left, indicating only behind. So St Kilda moves slightly ahead. They lead now 10-5 to 7-7. And once again have started the quarter full of running. They've done it in the first, second and now the third quarters.
One kick in there from Langford. Stewie Lowe doing the groundwork this time. He's been good in the air. Poor kick though. Chopped off by Platten. Looking for the danger man, Jarman. He's been terrific today, coming in for kick number 21. Out in front of Deere. He gathers it beautifully. Out in front of David Grant. Back to Jarman. Good running football by the Hawks. This kick will find Dunstall, yes. On a long lead, Dunstall takes a very good dive chest mark just outside the 50-metre line. Too far to score, too far out to score. Looking for Dermot Brereton up against Shanahan. Good play by Shanahan. Harvey tidies up. Long hand pass to McAdam, and who will relieve the pressure for the Saints.
McAdam goes to the outer wing and finds Burke, who has been tailing Platten most of the afternoon. On to Daniels, the redhead, who's involved in that first goal to Harvey. Harvey gets a push in the back, but Daniels gets his kick long. Devonport could have taken it. He's been in and out of the game, done quite well for St Kilda. Kick it. Takes the ball away from his teammate Lowe. Keeps the ball in play too. Hugs the boundary line. Collins wraps him up and gives away a free kick, taking Kickett just slightly too high. A little bit unfortunate, but certainly the free kick there.
Yes, I think he ducked his head there, Kickett. And maybe Andrew Collins a little bit unlucky. Harvey takes this kick into the forward line, looking for Stewie Lowe, almost takes the mark. Chris Mew over the top, Lawrence with the hand pass to McCrabb. A good smother there by Devonport, forcing the boundary throw in, but good pressure by the St Kilda forwards. They've worked pretty hard to tie that up. About 30 metres around from goal on the outer side. Stewie Lowe doing the ruck work for the Saints against Lawrence. Lawrence uses his body well, but then hand passes straight to Craig Devonport. Dwyer, he's already kicked 3 goals, and from an impossible angle kicks that one out of bounds on the full.
Yes, it was almost a fatal blue there by Lawrence.
He's looked a little bit unsure of himself today, big Steve Lawrence. It hasn't been one of his better games.
Chris Mew brings the ball back. The long driving kick. Once again, Lawrence not finding the mark. That mark taken by Vidovic onto Harvey. Harvey, a chip kick. Finds Russell Morris, who's played the last quarter and the start of this third quarter up on the forward line, and really has provided another avenue to goal for St Kilda.
Yes, he kicked 2 goals last week for the Saints. Been used in a different role. He's been a good player, runner, third in the best and fairest last year, playing at centre half back for St Kilda.
From right on the 50-metre zone, Morris goes long and direct and straight as a dog. The goal to Russell Morris. St Kilda kicked their 11th. 11-5 plays 7-7.
We go back to the third quarter with 6 minutes remaining. St Kilda have added an incredible 1-goal 8 and lead by 35 points.
Frawley brings the ball back into play, favouring the outer side of the ground. Harvey let that go. And there's a free kick, a shepherding free kick, paid I think this time against Jarman. A free to be taken by Sean Ralph Smith. On the 50-metre line, defensive side. Kicks for the centre, Vidovic, very good mark. He's been excellent today. That's his 9th mark. He's had 12 kicks and 8 hand passes and 16 hit-outs. Well on top of Steve Lawrence.
Clayton in the bog, Kickett comes up with it, kicks it round the corner. Dwyer knocks it on, gets it to Ralph Smith, who roped it well. Long sweeping handball to Devonport. Gets his knickers exposed round the corner with a great goal. Was Sean Ralph Smith. So St Kilda kicked their 13th. They've in fact kicked 4 goals, 9 this quarter, and lead Hawthorn by 41 points.
Yes, well, they've opened up a big margin. 10 points difference at half-time. They held onto the ball a fair while there, Devonport, before finally getting it off to Ralph Smith. Again, Vidovic. This time against Deer. I think Hawthorn have recognised that Vidovic has been pretty damaging in that centre square. A good mark by Jarman, plays on quickly. This time, no, he's missed to the right again. 3 opportunities to Darren Jarman. He was very accurate last week, kicked very accurately, but today cannot find the target. Frawley, outer side of the ground, McAdam. Brereton can't take the mark. Rove well there by Pritchard onto the left boot, and Tony Hall. 40 metres out from goal, a long way out, probably too far, going for the short pass and finding Ray Jenke.
Jenke goes for goal from 40 metres out. It's a high ball, pretty accurate. Dunstall underneath it, almost took the mark, but well done by Shanahan to knock it through. Hasn't been Dunstall's day, Bernie.
Well, he did all the hard work there, Jared. He worked his way to the front. The body-on-body work he did well against Frawley, and then put down a mark that you would probably expect him to take.
So they've kicked 4 points for the quarter, Hawthorn. To St Kilda's 4 goals, 9. At the back of the pack with a big fly, Jamie Shanahan. Played his first senior game this year and really is developing as a player. Pekin now with the ball. A left foot round the corner once again. Stewie Lowe comes charging out, takes McCrabb to the ground. Vidovic coming through with some muscle and bustle. Off the ground with Anderson. Ralph Smith dropping back once again. It sits favourably for him. He chips the ball through to Daniels. Daniels traps it well and gives it to McAdam. Boundary umpire wants a piece of the action. Good knock-on finds Daniels once again, but the handball was poor. Austin McCrabb kicks it forward for Hawthorn. Steve Lawrence appears to have been shifted to centre-half forward. Morrissey gets pushed in the back and must take a free kick.
Ben Allen in very late there. He better be careful, or there'll be 50 metres against him.
But quite a bit of interest after the play.
Morris, slightly to the defensive side of the 50-metre square. A long kick looking for Vidovic maybe. A good thump on. Here's the danger man again, Devonport. He's first to it. A good little tap on there coming from Kickett. Around on the left side. Devonport, Bowie, Jenke. Jenke first back there in defence for the Hawks. Desperate at the moment. Bowie again gets a hand pass out. McGuinness. Things pretty tense there for Hawthorn. Harvey out in front. Will get there first. Or maybe a dead hoot there with Tony Hall, but good work by Robert Harvey to tie that up.
Well, you say he's the danger man, Bernie. Craig Devonport. It'd be a hell of a lot more danger if he'd put him through the middle. He's kicked 1 goal 5 this afternoon. Really, it could have been a great afternoon for him, but he has wasted too many opportunities. Dean Anderson. Poor kick off the side of the boot. Out of bounds on the full free kick to be taken by Russell Morris. Always an experienced player that gets those easy free kicks, Bernie, out in the falls.
Yes, you always run up there very quickly to take that kick, don't you, Jared? An easy stat.
Yes, he chips a kick and finds Nicky Winmar. Winmar now with 7 kicks and 3 handballs. Alex McDonald done a pretty good job on him this afternoon. Drives it forward. The back of the pack was Stewie Lowe. Devonport coming through once again. Off the ground went McCrabb. Chip kicks to himself, then handballs it on to McDonald. McDonald around the boundary line. Jarman and O'Dwyer do battle. Punched by Jarman. David Grant does well. Gets it up to Winmar. Winmar round the corner with good vision, but the kick didn't match the vision and gets it to Morrissey. Quickly on to Deer and he drives Hawthorn forward.
Looking for Dermot Burden coming from behind. Grant did well to put his body in front. Out to McAdam. You're going, son. Well tackled there by Dermot Burden. He's been gunning for McAdam. He's had a special interest there, Dermot, in Gilbert McAdam, and very slow. Actually, McAdam taking a long time to get to his feet. As we see the ball transferred into that forward pocket. And Dean Anderson taking that mark. There's Gilbert McAdam. He's in a lot of strife there after that very heavy tackle from Dermot Burden. Looks very shaky.
I just noticed that Hawthorn have changed back flanks. Scott McGuinness has come on to Devonport. And Austin McCrabb has gone over onto Brett Bowie.
Well, that was overdue too, Jared. Devonport's had plenty of the ball in his third quarter as Anderson comes in. 35 metres, slight angle. Well, pretty tight angle, actually. And missing to the near side. One behind to the Hawks. So they trail 7-10-52. St Kilda 13-13-91. McAdam coming off. He looks very shaky after that heavy tackle from Dermot.
Kick out now with Daniels. Daniels over the top. Oh, well, that was terrific handball if he meant it. I think he may have. Harvey gave him the early call, obviously. Harvey to the centre of the ground. St Kilda doing it well. Straight down the middle goes Bowie, looking for the big fella in Lockett. He doesn't let him down, takes a diving chest mark. And from 45 metres out, should put through his 4th for the afternoon and his 102nd for the season.
And things tightening up at the top of the leaderboard. 2 in the goal kicking, Jared. 107 goals to Jason Dunstall. If Tony Lockett kicks this, 102. I know one of our fellow commentators will be taking a lot of interest in this, Ian Robertson.
You're saying there's some financials involved there, Bernie?
He's had a little bit of interest, of an interest in Tony Lockett winning the goal kicking.
Well, once again, Tony Lockett will shoot for goal after the siren, as he did in the second quarter and did it successfully. .45 metres on a heavy ground with a heavy ball. Gets underneath it, punishes the football, kicks it straight through the middle.
Quarter time, the Saints are in control, keeping Hawthorn goalless in that term. With 13.5 minutes of play remaining in the last quarter, St Kilda lead by 44 points, and that's where we pick up play. Stand by, Saints fans, for an avalanche.
Had all the makings as John the Boy Giorgio prepares to come on for his first run for the afternoon, and Dale Kickett coming off the ground for St Kilda.
Ralph Smith again taking that mark at halfback for the Saints. And again, a 50-metre penalty, the 3rd one for the afternoon against Dermot Burden. It's good to see a physical player on that forward line, and Dermot certainly is that, but when he gives away so many 50-metre penalties and unnecessary free kicks, he really is penalising the side. Off to McAdam. Look out, you're gone. Dermot late on the scene, not this time. Vidovic has had a terrific game playing in the ruck for the Saints. And a great competitor, Nicky Winmar. Out in front, here's a big chance. Lockett out in front. Thank you very much. Copybook football by the Saints. And Tony Lockett has taken 7 marks for the afternoon. Started off a bit quietly in that first quarter. Kicked 3 in the second quarter, registering his 100th goal for the season in that term. And now, really, this should be a soda for him, Jared, from about 25, 30 metres out. The big fellow, Tony Lockett, closing the gap on Jason Dunstall. 107 to Dunstall. And this for number 103 for the season for Tony Lockett. He kicks. That's a goal. Well, the Saints extend their lead, 15-15, 105. A 50-point margin there. Hawthorn 7-13, 55. And the big fellow really just finished off the good work further afield from those very good St.Kilda players. Winmar could have had a shot at goal himself. Just upped it for the pass. Very little Langford could do.
Yes, good play from St. Kilda. Once again, the ball up. Vidovic goes early. Lawrence didn't jump at all. Winmar, who kicked it to Lockett. Only a second to go. Comes up with the ball. Morris gives it to Harvey, who's almost best on the ground. Harvey chips it to Bowie. Bowie's going to be run down. Taken too high, though. And the umpire goes to ground himself. He's struggling with the conditions, let alone the players. And it was a pretty poor tackle from Gowers, who should have really just gobbled up Bowie.
Yes, maybe advantage could have even been paid there. Giorgio, the new player on the ground, the 16-year-old from St. Bede's.
Yes, what a fine football school that's been, Bernie.
I wonder why you mentioned that, Jared. You didn't come from St. Bede's, did you?
Boy, Giorgio, chip kick, finds Harvey.
Well, very predictable now, isn't it? Very predictable. Robert Harvey. Look at his stats too, Jared. Their on-ball stats have been magnificent. Coming in for kick number 18, Robert Harvey. 4 marks and 14 hand passes.
It's a tight angle. Harvey from 30 metres out gets plenty of momentum. It's a wobbling kick, but it's gone straight. Good goal to Mark Harvey. And St. Kilda career away. They now lead 16-15, 111 to Hawthorn 7-13, 55.
Yes, well, the Saints just doing it very easily at the moment. The Hawks, no answers at all. Robert Harvey has kicked 2 goals. All one-way traffic. The Hawks at the crossroads.
Yes, that was a great goal, of course, to Robert Harvey. St. Kilda appear to be winning this one out of the centre once again. Jenke repels that, however. Goes to McDonald and on to McGuinness. McGuinness with the left foot. Rel Smith underneath it. Plenty of time. Intelligent handball gives it to Dwyer. An advantage has been paid.
Yes, Mark Dwyer around the members' wing, and Devonport, who's been in everything since half-time. Kicks long into the forward line, looking for Lowe or Lockett. And Lowe, the man in front, taking the mark. A very good crowd here. Oh no, it's a shepherding free kick being paid against Tony Lockett. Langford to take the free kick and relief for the Hawks. Looking for Deer, but Vidovic, hasn't he been a tremendous player? 11 marks for Vidovic, 16 kicks. No, another shepherding free kick awarded to be taken by Deer. The crowd not too happy about those 2 free kicks. Jenke, centre of the ground, around the corner, a very sloppy kick. Harvey chops it off. Lawrence just gets his hand to that kick. Morris to Grant. The other side of the ground now, Mickey Dwyer is over in front of the members about 5 seconds ago. Around the corner looking for Giorgio, and a great tumbling mark by Giorgio. A good crowd here too, Jared, 43,132.
Yes, the fans really turning out as Robert Harvey takes a great mark, comes onto his right foot, chips the ball to Lockett, and Lockett takes another kick from Harvey. And almost every time that Harvey gets the ball on that forward line, you know who's going to bob up with it, and that's Tony Lockett.
Well, he doesn't waste the ball, does he, Robert Harvey? But look at that score line for the Hawks. It's a really sad and sorry sight, 7-13. They were 7-6 at half-time. So only 7 behinds in this second half for the Hawks. And we're at the 18-minute mark of the final quarter. Tony Lockett coming in for goal number 6. From about 35 metres out, maybe 40 metres out, that kick. Straight through the middle, another goal to the Saints. So St Kilda careering away, 17-15, 117. Lead Hawthorn, 7-13-55. Tony Lockett, 6 goals for the afternoon, takes his year's tally to 104.
Now getting pretty dark here at Waverley Park as Hayden Kennedy throws the ball up. Robert Harvey once again on the bottom of the pack. Well, I'm glad you're giving the votes today, Bernie, because it'd be pretty difficult to split between Vidovic, Bowie, Harvey, perhaps Jarman, who's faded a little bit.
Yes, it's a tough job, but the on-ball players for St Kilda have been magnificent.
Well, that was their perceived weakness before this game. Harvey comes into the centre of the ground and certainly has turned that around. And particularly when you consider that Winmar's been a little bit quiet, St Kilda have done exceptionally well. They've played 2 games at Waverley since they declared it their home ground, starting in '93, and have won them both. Burke off the ground. Dwyer off the ground. This will be good for his statistics as he gets another one straight off the ground and over the boundary line.
He's been a very good player, actually, Mark Dwyer. 5 marks, 16 kicks, and 8 hand passes. But interesting, Jared, listening to the Hawthorn president at the luncheon, he said ever since it's been announced that St Kilda would use this ground as their home base, it hasn't stopped raining, just in readiness for next season.
Well, she's raining goals for St Kilda at the present time. And Devonport, who can't get one through the middle, drops what he should have taken. McGuinness, good handball to Platten. Butters up for the 1-2. On to Jarman, who's coming up for his 33rd possession. But he had 20 at half-time, so he's been a bit quiet in the second half. Dunstall cops a heavy one from Shanahan. And appeals for holding the ball on Frawley. And Dunstall is yet to kick a goal.
Yes, he only kicked 1 last week and 2 the previous week against Carlton. 1 against North Melbourne, 2 against Carlton. And really in danger of not kicking a goal this afternoon. Around the corner, Platten up very high and over the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. And very little happening for the Hawks. Gilbert McAdam to take the free kick in the left back pocket for the Saints. Nothing to kick to, no movement further afield. He goes long and in front, Grant. And that's where they've been all day, the St Kilda players. David Grant, an excellent mark in front of Burton and Paul Deere. The player clear in the centre of the ground there is Harvey, and he should take that chest mark. He does. On quickly looking for Dwyer, in a bit of trouble there. Off the ground. Coming in as Daniels and Pritchard. Harvey again, he's been in everything. Off the deck, Sean Ralphsmith. Back to Dwyer. He's got plenty of room to work in. A little bit wide there for Lockett. He was held up, well spoiled by Langford. Bowie too high on him. The umpire spotted it. And a free kick to Brett Bowie as St Kilda make a change. Harvey off. And having his first run for the afternoon is Adrian Fletcher. But what a performance by the Saints. That they worked tirelessly.
Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey also. Standing ovation for Harvey. His stats magnificent. 7 marks, 19 kicks, 15 hand passes. And as you said, Jared, he rarely wastes a possession. But Bowie to take this kick. A pretty tight angle from about 35 metres out. The kicks looks pretty good off the boot. It will go close. It's a goal to the Saints, another one. They're romping away.
Yes, what a game Brett Bowie's played here this afternoon. 18 kicks, 21 handballs. He's just kicked his first goal, and he'll be a happy man tonight. And 40 metres out, I didn't think he'd make the distance, a little fellow, but he's gone underneath it. Hawthorn didn't have too many tools down there in that on the goal line, and it just drifted through for a marvellous goal to the young Bowie.
68 points of margin. St Kilda doing it very easily. Taken by Anderson out of that centre square. McAdam in front. St Kilda has been in front all afternoon, their players. Chips it up in front of Grant, a courageous mark. Ben Allen applying the pressure. St Kilda, they've had winners all over the ground. A magnificent performance. Very loose there. Fletcher just cannot take the mark. He's tackled pretty ferociously there by the Hawks. McDonald gets a tap on. Jarman Hawthorn's best player by a mile, to Deer. Out to Anderson. Long kick into the forward line.
Yes, looking for Dunstall, who once again the ball doesn't do him any favours. He's had a shocking afternoon, never had one bounce sit for him at all. As Danny Frawley comes up with the ball, gets it on to Rel Smith. Long sweeping handball to Daniels, gives it to the skipper, who's now on the wing, playing at full back and enjoying himself. Daniels comes up with another possession, kicks the ball forward looking for Morris. And Morris, who's also had a good game for St Kilda today, takes a nice chest mark.
This, Jared, would be the worst drubbing the Hawks had suffered since that first round clash against Adelaide over at Football Park in 1991. And
well,
really, they are at the crossroads at the moment.
Yes, they recovered from that one to win the premiership. They may not get a chance this time. Giorgio with the body. The young 16-year-old really showed Gowers how to position yourself there.
Well, he's probably a little bit stiff to be out of this side, Giorgio, because last week he played on the half-back flank, and I thought he played a terrific game against the West Coast Eagles.
And to think this boy could have played Teal Cup for Victoria.
Well, for another couple of years he could have, I suppose, Jared. 16
Yes.
years of age.
He's an outstanding young talent. In Form 6 at St. Bede's College. It's amazing that a player that young could be playing such good football. From 35 metres out, Boy Giorgio straight through the middle for another goal to St. Kilda.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1992 AFL Premiership season.
Yes, it was all St Kilda. They won 19-16, 130 to Hawthorn, who held goalless in the second half, 7-13-55. For St Kilda, Lockett got 6, including his century, and Harvey got 3. For Hawthorn, Jarman got 2, and Dunstall was held goalless.